Celebrating commitment, excellence, and achievement, Inspire Humanity presents Personality Grenada. Outstanding figures, nation builders, those who make it happen.
He was the first recipient of the Baptiste Talent Recognition and Development Program launched in 2013. Personality Grenada in Inspire Humanity welcomes Kevin Cox to talk his college basketball career at the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. Kevin, good morning and good to see you. Welcome home.
No, good morning.
Clifton, James has mentioned, is joining us for the show this week. He's guest hosting. Hello,
good morning. Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for joining us too. Thank you, Mr. Kenroy, for inviting me to your show.
You're very welcome. Alrighty, so Kevin, welcome home once more, and I want to ask you, how do you feel about being home for the short period you are here?
Yeah, finally. Man, it's been like 3 years since I've been here. I just miss the atmosphere of being, back home, There's a lot of people I haven't seen in a while, and I just got home like 2-3 days ago. I didn't really tell a lot of people I was back, but now people texting me and telling me, oh, I didn't say that I was back, but, I get to hang out, as the days go by.
You didn't give them a heads up. They want the heads up. They're a big fan of Kevin Cox. Talk about that one.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, let me ask you, what do you miss most about being away from home?
Really, okay, first of all, for people that know me, basketball is really like my life, so what I miss back home is just like my teammates, friends I used to hang out with, family most importantly. I just miss the environment, most of all, because I'm in the U.S. I'm in like an urban area, right, surrounded with buildings. I'm here where I can just kick back in the veranda and cool breeze blowing,
So things like the soul food and
the food too. I can't believe I forgot that. Like,
right, I was going to say
that's what I miss. That's what I miss the most. Before I even came back, I was like, Mom, when I come back, you have to whip up some food for me, So that type of stuff, I really missed about being home.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How would you sum up your experience to date, living and going to college in the United States?
Okay, so it was leaving Grenada and going straight to the U.S. It was a great feeling because that was, I guess, that's a lot of players' dream down here to play college ball in the U.S. Moving to Oklahoma, that was the first school I went to. It was a great experience. I went over there, I went through the whole transition with, trying to stay focused with both school and basketball. Although there was a few hiccups while I was over there, I was able to beat the adversity and stay focused. Now I'm in a situation where a lot of good things could happen for me,
As you mentioned, being able to stay focused, that was a real concern for me, because you're coming from the Caribbean where of course the lifestyle, the culture is different,
exactly,
and you now have to acclimatize to the lifestyle and culture of the US. Was adjusting difficult or somewhat easy? How do you make sense of that?
At first it was. So this is a joke, right? When I just got to the US, mind you, I went over there, I was speaking like pure Grenadian, and there was this one time in practice, my coach, that was in Oklahoma, my coach, he was saying something to me, and then I was responding to him, but I was on the other side of the basketball court, and he wasn't hearing me, so I had to walk up to him, and I was still talking, and he couldn't understand me. So the way I kind of changed my accent a little bit, I had to kind of adjust so they can understand me. You feel me? So that's one part of it, and then also adjusting to living with different people, because you're living in the dorms, you're not by yourself or in your own room, you're living with roommates, so you have to respect what they do and respect their stuff, and just living away from home, you gotta kind of adapt to certain things.
Right, so Kevin, what is your major at the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, so my major currently is urban sustainability.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really the study of the urban areas, which is the environment, like the cities and stuff. It's really more focused on finding out new ways to develop the city and develop the lifestyle of the city, whether it's water treatment, finding out ways to, how to better dispose of waste.
So a bit of conservation and environmental issues and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Basically.
How did you land onto that particular subject? Was it your passion before, or you just sort of made it into it?
Okay, so it wasn't really my passion per se. I went through a transition phase while I was in the U.S. Meeting up on a bump in Oklahoma where the coach wanted me to come back and finish my second year in junior college, but there was a situation in Oklahoma where students from out of state or international student was not allowed to get full scholarships in Oklahoma anymore. So from that point, I had to move on to a different school. So I was doing physical education in Oklahoma. Then when I moved to the school in New York, I was doing sports management, and sports management was the field that I really wanted to get into.
Right.
So after I finished in New York, in Kingsborough, I moved on to UDC, where I'm at right now, and they didn't have sports management at all, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. But my first semester I was doing health education, so you see where it bounced around.
Yes.
My first semester I was doing health education,
Very diverse.
Very diverse. And it came to a point where I sat down, had a meeting with my coaches, and they was like, look, they have to lay it out for me, if I stay in this program, that it'll take me a longer time for me to graduate.
Right.
So they gave me an option. It was like, I can switch over to urban sustainability and graduate with my bachelor's degree, and after graduating, I could go ahead and get my master's in sports management. So when I graduate with urban sustainability, moving on to get my master's degree, I'll do it in sports management.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
And just finally, moving on from there, would you be able to implement anything about the urban sustainability once you pass your exams and all the rest of it, graduate, I think they say in the US, right?
Yeah, great.
Could you implement any of that in Grenada in the future?
Certain things, but being like Grenada is not really like an urban area.
Right.
It's more like you got buildings, but it's not like you got like you can say green plantation and everything surrounding the buildings, and it's not like a city like New York or DC where you're driving long hours and it's like just buildings.
Sure.
Grenada it's not like that. So there's certain things you can apply from urban sustainability to the lifestyle in Grenada, but per se it's more focused on like the big cities and stuff like that.
We're talking with Kevin Cox, basketball player. Kevin, how would you sum up your love affair with the sport that is basketball? You chuckle about that one.
Yeah, I did, because a lot of people did not. Now, I shouldn't say did not want me to play basketball, but they just believed I would have been a better track and field athlete, like high jump. Okay, so when I went to Wesley College after leaving primary school, I was around the basketball team from Form 1 and Form 2. Form 1 and Form 2, I never made the team. I was around, but I didn't get a uniform for the team to actually play. And in Form 3, that's when the first time I made the starting five. But at that point, I wasn't really like that good. It was really just me trying to find my way in. At that point, basketball was just something to like keep me going. Because while I was playing basketball, I was in the football team. I was doing track and field. I was running. I was throwing. I was jumping. I was doing everything at that point. So how they say it in the U.S. is like starting to play basketball at that age is like a late bloomer. Because I started playing like the age of 13, but the passion and the love for the sport didn't really start it until I was like 17. That's when I really started fell in love with the sport. When like Coach Alcock, that's my first coach ever. He told me, like, he saw my talent, and he was like, I can really go somewhere with this. And then I started believing it. I started putting a lot of work into it. Like, I'll be the only one on the Carnage court, like in the hot sun, like day after day, practicing. Sometimes even not practicing, just shooting by myself. So that's where the love came from. And I had a lot of support, especially in Wesley College. This is a funny story about Wesley College, right? When I came in Form 1, when I found out I passed to go to Wesley College, like, my brother went to PBC, so I wanted to go there, right? So when I went to Wesley College, I was like, Mom, can you give me the transfer? Give me the transfer to go to PVC. And then she was like, she spoke to the principal, and then he was like, let him finish the first year in Wesley College, and after that they can get me over. And I think
that never happened.
I think that was the best thing the best decision that could ever happen, because after I did that first year in Wesley College, like I just fell in love with the energy of the school, the support system from the teachers, the principal. I made a lot of great friends there, even friends I have up to this day. And when I came to Form 2, she said, the principal, he wanted me to come to PVC, and I told her, forget about it. I want to stay in Wesley College. So I'm really glad it turned out that way, because me going to PVC, I don't even know if I probably would be in this situation. So everything happened for a reason, and I was really grateful to be in Wesley College, because it's a great school.
Mm-hmm. So who were you looking at as basketball players for some kind of motivation?
Okay, so a lot of people know Kevin Durant is my favorite player. He's not like the way I play is different playing styles, but a lot of people say because I like Kevin Durant because we have the same name. Yes. But like that's probably part of it. But I just like him, the way he plays and everything. But as far as like for motivation, I look at like Kobe Bryant. I look at Stephen Curry. Those type of players. And my coach, he in New York right now, and he used to teach me when I was in Wesley College. Damian Welch, he gave me a book that sums up Kobe's transition from high school to being, an NBA, like you could say NBA legend,
right?
And he gave me a book on Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, and Stephen Curry. So I'm currently reading the book about Kobe Bryant right now. Since I came back, I haven't had time to do it because I'm practicing for the national team, and I'm tired sometimes when I go home, so I just go to rest. But
so you brought the book down with you?
Yeah, I have 3 books with me. Yeah, while I was on the plane coming over here, I was reading it. It's very interesting. Like, and I think like I'm just starting to get back into the reading, and I feel like for you to enjoy reading, you got to read something that you're interested in. And I think me reading those books is going to really help me out in the future.
Kevin, give us a comparison about what it's like to play college basketball in the United States against, say, playing when you was at high school here in Grenada.
Oh, it's totally different, especially the skill level. The game, college level, I mean, if you want to compare it to high school basketball over here, it's totally different. Over here, you will have like kind of like the same intensity. Like players will try their best. They will play hard, but like when it comes to like a structural game, like running through plays and stuff like that, trying to make the game more organized. Yeah, in the US, I can definitely see it, as a plus. But it's something that we're working on down here. Like Coach Elka, Coach Naka, everybody, trying to boost it, so we can be on that type of level. Because a lot of people coming from an international country, a lot of people don't think like he's coming from another, like say like an island, and a lot of people never heard about.
So you're saying it's the sort of discipline and structure.
Exactly. So that's what it really is. And me being a hard working type athlete, like basketball player, I think it was easy for me to like to grasp it when I got over there. Although like getting into the plays, it took me a while because I never really ran into so much plays while I was in Grenada. Like I'm talking about back to back, like every practice they add a play and you gotta memorize it. And I'm not perfect. I make mistakes a lot, like in the plays, because I was just trying to grasp it. But once you get a hold of it, then you'll be good.
Why is playing college basketball a dream of yours?
Well, I see it as a dream and an opportunity. So my main goal is to play professional basketball. And when you're talking about professional basketball, transitioning from college to that, a lot of coaches on a professional level, they look at college type players. So I think me being in a college, it's an NCAA. I'm in a Division II NCAA school, but there's also a lot of people working with me, and I've met a lot of people who think I could play on that level, and they're kind of gradually working me through the process of getting me up to that standpoint. I think the dream of playing college ball, that's, everybody in Grenada should be grateful if they get the opportunity to do that, because you're also getting a chance to get a free education as well. And I think it just, he put me in a better position of playing professional ball. So I think that's what's great about it.
So I'm interested to know, you're a student, you're an athlete. Tell us about this unique style that you would have, juggling both. What challenges do you face?
The challenges, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Like, in terms of staying focused, being a basketball player in the U.S. is kind of like, it is a big thing. But when focusing on school as well, you have to manage your time properly. Because there's certain times where you'll have games on the road. Like, I'm in UDC right now. We'll be we'll have a game on Wednesday, but we'll live like Monday night, and then we'll have like a practice on Tuesday, then we play Wednesday, and then head back to the school on this, like, right after the game. So, like, while we're on the road in the hotel, I'll have to walk on my laptop if I miss class and they have any online classes. We'll have to do it on the road. So you just gotta stay mindful of, although you're playing basketball, you still gotta maintain your grades, because if your grades are not good, sometime in the upcoming semester you will not be able to play. You'll not be eligible to play. So that will kind of put a dent in the team for losing you.
Okay. What achievements during your college basketball career thus far are you most proud of?
I would say my second year when I went to Kingsborough, because my first year I got hurt, so that kind of threw me off. Like, I was on the starting 5 roster and I was actually doing good, but then when I got hurt, they kind of bumped me down and I missed a couple games. But then when I got back, got my feet under me, I wasn't really getting the playing time that I used to, so that kind of put a dent in my, in the way, stuff was going. But in my second year when I went to New York, it was really great, because I got to spread my wings a little bit. I got to explore different, I shouldn't say different positions, but really play the way I know how to play. And I got the CUNY All-Star Award, which is great. And then I got the Coaches Award in our school banquet. So I think my second year in college was a really eye-opener, and then that kind of opened the door for a lot of other opportunities for me.
I'm on the technical side of things here, Tony Julien, and it was something that was coming into my mind from the beginning of this interview. I am so happy to hear that you mentioned an injury, okay? Of course, you in your case have urban sustainability to fall back on as another field.
Right.
Let's say it was just basketball and you had this injury. From what you have seen from other basketball players who are going all out to make a career out of basketball and they get the injury, what do you see them falling back on in terms of staying in basketball as a career? How do they manage that?
Well, that's really tough, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I heard that from a lot of people. Even before I got to the US, I heard that, and it's really, you need to have a backup plan. You need to have a backup plan. It's not just about basketball, because a lot of people know how hard I work in, playing basketball. But at the same time, you got to be mindful that basketball, it won't be something you do forever. You have to have something, like a plan, not really a plan B, but just something after basketball. Whether you have a degree, then you fall back in a field that you're interested in. In my case, I love being around sports, whether it's basketball or anything else. I love being around it. So I think sports management kind of, will kind of give me that opportunity, to fall in that kind of situation after basketball. But I think most people who really just focus on chasing the goal of basketball, they have a great support system with them. So even if they get injured, they'll have people setting stuff up in place for them, But for the ones that really, grinding towards basketball and don't have nothing to fall back on, I think those are the ones, they grind towards basketball, but at the same time they focus on, getting an education. In my case, I came up to an instance where, I was almost offered a pro contract, and then me and my mom was spoken, and I told her, I told her about it because it was tempting, right? And she was like, I'm already 2 years in, just finish up my 4 years in college. So I was like, all right, I'll do that, and then see where stuff goes from there. The reason why it was tempting for me, like at that point, when they offered me, I was 22, but now I'm 24. Which is not bad, because that's something, with my hard work, I'm trying to break that kind of, you can say, that kind of chain. People saying, oh, you're at that age and you're just going into professional basketball. But at this point, I'm 24, and I recently went to California like 2 weeks ago, and there's a lot of people who like I met a few people after an event, and they're asking me if I'm entering the draft. Mind you, I didn't went to California for that. I just went to work out with a coach, playing a few games, just for like a week before I come back home. And for me to hear that from somebody, I was like, man, I was not really thinking about coming out there and expecting that. But it's it happens without you realizing it. And people see your talent, and they wouldn't, like, some people will see them, they wouldn't tell you, but you just got to keep working and knowing that people's looking at you.
Kevin, let me ask you, as seasons open and close and so on, what do you look forward to most for the upcoming season?
The upcoming season it gonna be tough, because it's my senior year, and I really want to make a statement. And what we have planned going forward is really to win the ECC championship, and go forward to the national championship. Last year we had a great team to accomplish that, but it was just a lot of miscommunications, and we didn't get to that point. But me and 3 of the seniors coming back, we spoke about it, and we really have to take a lead as seniors, in terms of like the other players that's coming in, keep them on point. And the junior college that I went to in New York, one of the big guys, he's like 6'9", 6'10". He's from St. Vincent. He's coming down there with me, and I'm really excited about that. I just got the news last night. We were in a group chat, and he texted me. He was like, "Yo, Kev, I'll be down in the school with you." And I was like, "Damn!" Like,
so you're like mentoring then?
Yeah, you can say.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but that's really great. That's what I'm looking forward to this season. Just keep working and keep getting better.
Excellent.
So essentially, this is the last year for you playing college basketball.
Yeah, this is my last year of college basketball.
Looking forward to a professional career after?
Yeah, definitely. Right after graduation, my plan is to go to California and explore options, because I have people over there who believe in me, and who could get me on that point. So there's a lot of things I gotta work on. I'm not the perfect guard. I'm a 2 guard, but I'm not the perfect guard. I still have some hiccups. I still have stuff I gotta polish up on. So it's just keeping the positive mindset and just keep working and gradually improve as time goes on.
So that's your playing position. You're a guard.
Yeah, I'm a shooting guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Kevin, as we come towards the end of this interview, tell us some of the people who've supported you over the years, or assisted you, and helping you attain your goal of that dream of being a college student and all the rest of it.
Man, it's a long list.
If
I'm going to start from high school, I had my high school coach, Mr. Shem Paul. He's been there for us since I was in, since Form 1, but when I just got on the team, he was there not only for basketball, but then when we were in secondary school, we're young, we're energetic, we're running around doing all sorts of stuff. So he'll help us to stay on our toes, and even the staff, the whole Wesley College staff, and Principal Phillip, him as well. Then I have people like Kester Elcock, Damian Welch, I have Miss Moore, which she's, even when I went to the US, she constantly texts me and check up on me and make sure I'm okay. Who else? I got, there's a lot. I'm trying to just run through the names right now, but there's a lot of people that really helped me out while I was,
Well, next time I'll give you a whole show and you can have that.
And then Chiron is one of the persons who really stuck with me. He was the first person that actually sponsored me with gears and stuff.
Excellent.
So, now I'm grateful. Right now, mentioning the names, I don't want anybody to feel left out, but you know who you are, and there's a lot of people who really supported me, not only financially or actually talking to people that helped me out, but just being there to support me and talking to me and keeping me on my feet, So
Excellent.
yeah.
Right. One other question for you before you leave us. How long will you be on island, and how do you intend on spending your time?
So I'll be here until August 11th. That's the set date, but the coach in California, he wants me to come back in July, somewhere like anytime after the 22nd, because he wants me to work out some more and meet a few people. So that is still pending, but for now, my ticket is already booked for the 11th of August. Right now, I'm just grateful to be around family. I haven't been around family in 3 years. I haven't seen a lot of my friends from here, a lot of the players. So I just got back, so there's a lot of stuff that could be done, but as for now, I'm just enjoying the time being around my mom and my little brother, and seeing familiar faces.
Okay, we leave it here for now on Personality Grenada in Inspire Humanity. What a delight. Kevin Cox, the first recipient of the Baptiste Talent Recognition and Development Program launched in 2013.
At present, he pursues a college basketball career at the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. Kevin, thank you, and do enjoy your stay at home. Pure Grenada, the spice of the Caribbean.
Inspire Humanity.